Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. Central Valley Business is the show this hour where we talk to business people, find out about their business, what they do. I especially like to find and talk to businesses that can help other people reach their potential. Our guest this half hour is Eric Merz. Welcome, Eric. Vertua Coaching.
Hi, Mike. Good to be back.
Yeah, I love to talk to you. I always learn something. And tell me about Vertua Coaching.
Yeah, Vertua Coaching, that word you won't find in the dictionary. It comes from the two words veritas and tua, which means your truth. Because what I found is a lot of what I do with people is help them find their truth, whether it's in their numbers or their business reality, or, you know, what is it they really want to accomplish in their life and their business. And so that kind of became the central thing in terms of what I do, because a lot of times I'm working with some businesses, I'm working on their sales and their marketing. Sometimes I'm working on their mindset, or I'm working on their people strategy or their process, process improvements. So, but in any case, it's trying to find the true North Star for them to take their life and their business where they want to go.
When they call, you're the head coach, right, over at Vertua Coaching.
Yes.
When somebody comes to you, do they always know where they want to go or where they want to end up or where they need help?
Sometimes they aren't real clear about it. They have some ideas, and then, that's where we'll usually start. And sometimes they have it all kind of mapped out, and we get to work on their business right away. Sometimes we have to take a step back and really let them do some soul searching. It might take several sessions to really get clarity about what they want to really accomplish. And then sometimes, just my questions will uncover things that they've either suppressed or they never thought about before.
Right. It's easy to be there, I tell you. I think off the top of my head, my business, how do we get more money in the door? How do we get more sales? How do I keep and retain good people? Things like this. But, maybe you'll come along and say, Mike, the problem is you. You got to change how you think and act and treat people, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know where you would start.
Yeah, I have a number of different types of assessments that I use that measure, from personality traits to how we're driven, what are our values that we hold dear compared to others. And it's not like a right or wrong or a good or bad thing. It's about that we're all a little bit different. We're wired differently. Maybe because of our upbringing, our value system is a little bit different than others. But that doesn't keep us from being successful. Understanding those things and then really aligning our actions with those types of things, like our values or where we're best suited to be in our organization. Sometimes the business owner isn't best suited to be doing everything that they're doing, and so they can find somebody else who is, and then they can relieve themselves of that. So I'll use those tools sometimes to have those conversations. And what's nice about the tools is it's really like taking an x-ray or getting a blood workup. The doctor does that so they know what they're dealing with before they make a prescription. But I put it out in front of the client, and they read through it, and most of the time they verify, that's really the way I operate. That's my behavior. That's my motivation, whatever it is we're kind of focusing on. And then they go, well, I ask them a couple of basic questions. Being that you agree that the test is right about who you are, more or less, maybe there's a couple things you don't, but most of it you agree with. How is it helping you in your success of where you're wanting to go? And then number two is whatever's, our best part of us, our best attributes, might be causing a blind spot in some other area of our life. So how does it hinder you? So then you start to have those conversations about different people that might fit in, or outsourcing certain parts of the business. All those kinds of things could come up.
What amazes me, I've talked to you, I don't know, half a dozen times at least, and I always come away thinking, oh yeah, why didn't I see that? Why don't I see? Where does your wisdom come from in this regard?
Well, training and certifications and studying and learning about this, and then actually going through it with clients and going through it myself with the coach, helping me see these things and ask these questions. I mean, I didn't design any of these tests. I didn't create all this psychobabble that you might read on some of these results and reports that come out there. And sometimes I'll have clients push back and go, "Oh, that's a bunch of baloney," and then I'll just start talking to them about what's really happening, and then they'll kind of come back and go, "Oh, that's what that test was talking about, wasn't it? Oh, okay." Because usually it's pretty close. There might be one or two things they don't agree with, and I tell them, "Hey, that's fine. Don't agree with part of it, but if you agree with most of it, you need to take it into take it in and see how it can help you." Sometimes it's not so much. It's that nobody takes the time to really do this kind of work. They just keep plowing forward every day, working hard, and that's what basically they have to do every day to make a business run, or to be successful in a career for that matter. But now and then we need to take stock of who we are and why we're like we are, and then what things can we do to make ourselves even healthier, happier, and able to achieve more of what we want to achieve.
Interested to hear you say the head coach, Eric Merz, you had a coach, and you studied all these methods of analyzing businesses and things, and then you've got to be able to apply those things over and over and over to hundreds or thousands of different businesses?
Well, I'd say hundreds of different individuals, within businesses that I've worked with. And sometimes we use some of these tools when someone's going through the hiring process. They'll use these tools to get a deeper insight as to who is this person? Are they going to fit well with our team based on where we plan on using them and what role we're going to have them play? That will enable them to kind of see the potential blind spots as well as see their strengths and how to apply those. So they might modify some of the roles within the organization to make somebody fit because they have a particular skill that they're looking for, but they might realize that they have that skill, but they might have a blind spot to what we thought they would do in this role, but there's somebody else beside them that could probably pick that up, and then that way they can be all the more genius in the area that they're really good at.
Yeah, one of the most costly things in a business is bringing on a new employee, training them, getting them up to speed, and after a period, if they don't work out, you've just lost that whole period and all the money you paid them. And just right there, I see one place where a business consultant could maybe help you think it through and not make the mistake of hiring over and over again for the same position.
Yeah, you know what they say, hire slow and fire fast.
Fire fast, yeah.
So, yeah, if you take your time, have a good process laid out, make sure it's clear what you're looking for, and, go through the process and the interviews that you need to take. But, some kind of a test on their personality or their attributes. And if it's a technical position, maybe you need to test them on the skills themselves, right? Because a lot of people will have something on their resume that, they did that once, but they didn't do it 1,000 times to become an expert, but now it's on their resume. Right. So the hiring person thinks that they're getting something that they're really not.
By the way, are there a lot of people out there right now looking for jobs?
There's more than there were a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, we had a time where it was really hard to find people. It's still hard to find people and retain them. Yeah. It's still, because it's still a competitive market in terms of especially skilled positions. It's really difficult.
You see key people in companies moving along because there's a lot of opportunity out there, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're just, trying to do the best for their family, so you can't really blame them. But so that's another area we work on with businesses is it's not always just about the pay. Sometimes it's about the culture and what other benefits you can bring to them that may be kind of intangible, where it makes it like they really love to come to work there every day. And so if somebody's going to try to lure them away, they're going to have to come in with a heavier offer.
Yep. It's a so valuable to have a job you look forward to going to every day, and you feel valued, and you feel like you're really doing something you like to do. So it's hard to talk somebody into staying if they don't feel that way.
Yeah, and I think it's the nature of the internet age. Everybody gets information so fast and so easy. So there's lots of stories out there, going on all the time, and people are reading about them, and then, they're dreaming that they could pick up that dream job. So they start to look where, I think 25 years ago, people just didn't even think that way.
Yeah. Well, I just opened yet another LinkedIn account for another business, and I must have checked a box somewhere because I just automatically get all these interests in jobs. And I said, well, that might be a fun job. And I wasn't even looking. I checked the box. So I guess with this social media and computers and things move really fast, that people can really see the opportunity that's out there.
Yeah, there's just so much out there, and on the other side of that, there's a lot of false information out there too. That it's easy to put false information out, and with AI now, it's generating. I wonder how many posts are actually generated by the authors.
Interesting. By the way, Eric, I asked this question to everybody: who should be calling Eric Merz and Vertua Consulting?
Any inspired business owners that want to take their business to the next level. They might have been stuck for a while where they're at, or maybe they've been growing, but they are not sure about what the next steps are. We can do an assessment. I believe in, let's look at what's going on and see if there's an opportunity, or, I may refer them to somebody else that specifically works on what they need. So any business owner, I love to sit down and talk to them, and I'll offer them a free analysis. It'll take about an hour.
Free is good, but I think I talked to you a couple months ago when you were telling me some stories that some people are afraid to spend the money on a consultant, but actually they could make more than the cost of the consultant by getting on the right track.
Well, yeah, and if not, I really don't have a good business model, do I? So,
That's right.
We've had occasion where we have somebody that's not in a good place personally or whatever to work with me, because honestly, they've got their regular work to do, and then I'm going to be helping them work on their business, not in it.
Right.
So they have to do some extra work, and not everybody's ready for it. And I understand that. I don't take it personally, but I take my work personally. So if it's not working, I say, hey, is this not working for you? No, it's not. Well, let's try it later sometime.
Yeah.
I'd rather part friends like that. But, to the person who's ready to, take the next steps and work on their business, whatever it takes, that's what we'll do.
Now, I have your web address on the screen, VerturaCoaching.com. What will someone find if they go to that website?
Well, there'll be some opportunities there to connect with me, of course, but there's some other blogs and things they can read on there. There's a free book they can download with some ideas of how they could grow their business. So that would be probably a valuable thing for them to do and understand kind of some of the things that I do. It wouldn't be everything, but that's what they mostly find there.
Now, I notice your area code 661, but what area do you serve?
Well, I have clients in other parts of the country. Most of my clients are here locally in the Valley. So, anywhere in the Valley would be convenient for me to be doing face-to-face work. If you're up in Fresno, it'd probably be some kind of a hybrid. I do a lot of stuff on Zoom or phone, and I've always done that. Before Zoom, I did a lot of phone coaching. It really works just as well.
Yeah. I just it seems like you could be anywhere now to do different types of businesses. It's amazing how clear and crisp this communication is, and just a few years ago it wasn't. We're almost out of time. What else do you want our viewers to know, or what would you like to talk about?
Well, I think what I want to leave kind of a message. It's Thanksgiving coming up this week, and think about the things you're grateful for that maybe some hard things you went through in your life, some things that change your direction.
Mm-hmm.
You really should be thankful for those because that's part of what made you who you are. And so instead of looking at those things negatively, look at what you learned out of them, where they redirected your life, and who else did they put in your life for that. So that's kind of a twist on gratitude. Today, I just like people to look at that, and maybe they want to go thank somebody who would just be falling over if they realized that they were being thanked for something maybe they did to you, that offended you or whatever. But that's what I would say. I would challenge you to do that. It's actually going to be in my newsletter tomorrow. There'll be a message coming out on that.
Yeah, I've been through a few of those where people come up to me and forgave me for something I did. I did that, and you're forgiving me, and wow, how powerful that was, and how that person now holds such a big piece of my life. It's happened to me a couple of times, so very powerful thing. I just want to kind of conclude by saying, I guess anybody who's want to move their business in a different direction, they don't even need to know what direction they want to go. Maybe a different hiring, maybe just a different mindset. Call Eric Merz. Do I have that close, Eric?
Yeah, just give me a call or shoot me an email. Go to my website if you want to get more information, and just don't stay stuck. Do something. Call somebody. There's other coaches out there, but I'm glad to talk to anyone about their business.
Okay. And it's free to call Coach Eric.
Yep.
By the way, thanks for giving us your direct number, 661-343-2373. But go to vertuacoaching.com. It's on the screen. And thank you, Eric. I always enjoy talking to you.
Thank you, Mike.
And we'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.